Flosstube! Welcome to my channel, Bubble Stitch and Quilt. I'm Jessie. How are you doing? Welcome to everyone who is a returning viewer, subscriber. As always, I'm so happy to have you join me. And I did get like an influx of new subscribers towards the beginning of January, mid-January. Made me wonder if I got a shout out somewhere that I missed. And or maybe y'all just really like my whip parade. But welcome to all of my new subscribers. I'm really excited to have you join us and welcome in. And oh, it's been a second, like it's been a while. I want to say 4 weeks. It's been probably almost a month since my last video. So, oh, I didn't say. This is a channel primarily about cross stitching. Every once in a while we throw in a quilt or two. Yeah. All right. So it's been busy. As many of you may recall, I am an attorney with a legal aid organization, and anytime you get money from the federal government, it tends to come with a little bit of oversight, which is fine, right? Like anytime you're going to get public money, there should be, right? There should be some oversight, make sure it's being properly spent. But it's as you would expect. At the end of the calendar year, which is the end of the fiscal year for us, we start doing a lot of the work that we have to do to be in compliance for. And so we do a lot of year-end work that happens in January. It happens before that too. You start the process beforehand, but for the most part, it converges like in January, and typically it's always a busy time in general, but this past year definitely made this January a lot more difficult than it has been because of COVID. There were a lot of factors, right? There were a lot, because we had the transition to work from home, people had to adjust. Some processes and procedures kind of had to be adjusted, and that impacted workflow, and not everybody works well from home. I mean, being real, like, I work really well from home. I'm an introvert. I like the quiet. I am getting more sleep because I'm not having my commute. Like, I love working from home, but not everyone does that. And some people really need the structure of a work office to make sure that they stay efficient and effective. Some people, their homes are quite distracting, and they need the work and they need the office to be able to avoid those distractions. And that's just in general, right? Like working from home versus working from the office. And then when you have COVID, where you have family members who are also home, and you have these other responsibilities that you have, right? If you're a person who's now homeschooling your kids, not homeschooling, but they may be distance learning, and so you have to help with that aspect of distance learning. And if you have elderly parents that have come to quarantine with you, you have those responsibilities, because they can probably not, isn't the whole reason for them coming was to stay safe. They can't go out and take care of themselves or whatever, right? Like, there's so many things that impact our workflow. Y'all know this. Y'all going through this too. So anyways, but as a result, January was not fun, and we actually are still not quite done. I'm just done with my portion of it, and now I'm just waiting for the last third of the third portion to be done, and then we move into the next phase, which still means it'll still be busy in February, but we're now being the February stage of it, which is the managerial oversight. And so since I am part of the management team, I still have some of that work that has to come, but it won't be nearly what it was doing the work in January. So I was working long hours, y'all. Like, I think my longest was a 14.3 hour day. I think I did that on a Sunday. But it was long days, just doing my best to push the days through. I haven't stitched in 2 weeks. Like, I had Thursday night was the first time since inauguration day that I had stitched anything. And then there were a couple of days before inauguration day that I didn't stitch as well. And so I don't have a lot to show you today is basically what I'm saying. My life has been really busy. I love my job. It's part of the course, it's part of what we have to do, but that being said, I don't got a lot. I do have some haul though. Well, some stuff that I bought. So let's get going. Let's see what I have been able to do in this very short amount of time that we have been done. And so again, it's not very much. So I'm not sure how much editing I'm going to do on this video today. There's a part of me that just wants to get it uploaded and everything, but I will try to post all of the pictures of what it will look like when it is done right here in this little corner right here, if I have it, and which I should, but otherwise, I don't think I'm going to do, I probably won't have very much progress videos or anything like that. So, first up is Lindy Stitches, The Funky Menagerie Sal. Part 2 has come out. I have not finished part 1. So, this is what I have done so far. I think the last time that you saw it, I had done most of what you've seen. I think I had already done the flamingo. I think so. What I've done since you saw it was I've added this little funky octopus. Is that an octopus? Yep, 8 legs. Octopus. I think whatever this character is. Goat? Is he a goat? And then I started working on the ostrich. I finished this part of the border that was available. So, but part 2 is out, and I'm going to try to get caught up on it, but I'm going to do it when I can. This is part of my Sew What You Want week, so not part of my regular rotation, so to speak. And I'm doing this on, what am I doing this on? I think it's 32 count. Oh yeah, it's 32 count flax linen by Zweigart. So it's just a basic. And it's so cute. This makes me happy every time I pick it up. I'm just like, who doesn't love funky animals? Right? Everyone loves a funky animal. I know I do. Alright. Next up is I have a new start on Stone Creek Samplers MLK sampler, and I started this on MLK Day. I made it my inauguration stitch, so I basically worked on it from MLK Day through Inauguration Day, and that's as far as I got. I ended up working on it one night when I was on a Zoom call with some friends. I worked on it a little bit. Really, it's you might as well not count it, because when you're trying to have a phone call with some really good friends, you don't count well, so I had to frog it all. So, as it goes. But anyway, so it was a brand new start, and I am doing this on 36 count Heartland from Picture This Plus. It was basically the last remnant that I had, and so this is how far I got. I'm doing this with the called for DMC, and so there we are. And so I'm gonna let you know already that the count is off on the border. I already know it, and because of the frogging, I'm pretty sure that this is not lining up. I do not know where the lining up is going to be. I don't know if the miscount was on this border and then this started off wrong. If this border is miscounted, I've recounted this one quite a bit because this is what I ended up frogging when I definitely had miscounted it. But when I'm looking at it now, it still looks like it's not going to match. I'm just going to, this is a pretty basic, checker kind of border. So I'm hoping that whenever it does not meet, I'll just be able to fudge it really well and no one's going to notice that it's fudged. Even better if the miscount is in the vine, right? Because if the miscount's in the vine and the border meets. So anyways, I don't know when I'm going to pick this back up. This is going to be my piece for anything patriotic, or anytime I'm feeling I need to remind myself of we're fighting the good fight and we have to keep fighting the good fight. But I do plan, I don't know if y'all recall, that I had purchased the Ruth Bader Ginsburg bag from the 805 Stitcher. So here it is. As a reminder, my MLK stitch pattern is going to live inside my RBG bag. So, and at the times when I'm not picking it up and everything. So, but yeah, so here we are. I don't, again, I don't know what the plans are, but I did treat this as my seasonal stitch because it was MLK Day, or Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it was Inauguration Day at the same time, on the same week. So I ended up stitching on this during that few days that I was able to stitch that week as part of my seasonal stitch. So I did not end up working on Winter Carriage Ride because this is my seasonal stitch. So that's where we are on that one. I'm going to fly through this video, it looks like. Last but not least, I only worked on 3 pieces in these last few months, in this last 4 weeks, without being able to really stitch on anything. And so this is, as you may recall, so I am doing Whip Go, and so this was one of my called fors for Whip Go for January, but my second piece that was called for, I'm still waiting for the fabric to arrive, so I wasn't able to work on it. So my goal for my Whip Go board is to work on 10 hours for each of the project that's called, and in my rotation, it's week 1 and week 2 is basically where I hope to fit in my 2 Whip Go pieces. And so because I couldn't start my second piece, I ended up working on my Sing-a-Song sampler, or Sing-a-Sampler. I always want to call it a Sing-a-Song sampler. Sing-a-Sampler by Silver Creek Samplers. I ended up working on that. And I ended up finish the doe and the ray. And the first part of the wording I did just the other night. And I am doing this on 36 count Edinburgh Heartland by Picture Disc Plus. This is this last piece of that big piece of fabric I had that the remnant went to the MLK Junior sampler. I am doing this with various combinations. I was inspired by the Jan Hicks Jennifer Dinkla. I should write that down to make sure that I always say it correctly. Drinka. Conversion to make the brighter colors for the border and the words, and I also am doing all of the lyrics in the same color thread, which I also did with their actually no, it's not. So I was inspired by it, and then I basically converted when I couldn't either get the floss, didn't have the floss, or whatever reasons, right? And then ultimately, and then the plan was to use the called for in the designs, but if I couldn't get it, I converted it. And so it is kind of a mishmash of various things going on right now. So it's a combination of DMCs, weeks, and Gentle Arts. And I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. I was having a hard time deciding if I wanted to put the when you know the words part underneath, because I find that a little bit weird, but then I think, oh no, that actually works. This is going to be a gift for somebody, and I think they're going to really like it. For those of you who've been with me, you know that there was one thread off for my R in the ray. Now that I've finished it, I don't think that you can even tell. It didn't impact the design at all anywhere else, and so I think I'm going to leave it as is, and but I love it. I think this is looking really good, and so I am keeping track of everything that I've done. I will share it with everyone if anyone's interested, but again, I did kind of follow Jan Hicks conversions and then kind of adjusted when I couldn't find it. That's all the actual stitching that I have done in this past month. I'm hoping things will go back to normal a little bit, where I'll have my normal evenings back and all that good stuff. So I'll be able to come back in a couple of weeks like I usually do and show you some really good updates in the meantime. So now what's next? I actually got, because I was so stressed out, I might have done a little bit too much retail therapy, but that's okay, right? So I did purchase a few things. Oh, I guess let's talk about plans before I go into haul. So again, as I just said, I am doing Whip Go, and so the called for numbers for February are the number 4 and the number 20, which for me brings up, don't know if you can see, the Tree of Magic, and then I have my Frosted Pumpkin Seasons. So I have both. I can do both. So that's really super exciting. Um, and so that will be winter carriage ride, and of course, which is what I have right now. The other three, hopefully they don't get called before I finish this one. I'm still waiting for the fabric on that too. I'm always waiting for fabric. Like this is gonna be a rough end of the year if I gotta like catch up on my whip go. But either way, right? I do have things kitted up on the rest of the on the board, so I can just move things around if I as I need to. So, but Tree of Magic will be a brand new start, so that's really exciting. I don't know if I actually will do it, but that's the plan. I've also been doing magical stitches. I only was able to do kind of one task, and been listening to some books, so hopefully I'll be able to do at least the book parts. But hopefully whatever the tasks are. My goal, I wanted to be a helper. I didn't actually want to be part of a team because I didn't know, because I don't have enough whips really to be helpful. Like they'll be like, oh, go do, I'm like, I don't have anything like that, so, because I only have a handful of whips. But that being said, was able to contribute, and they said, it's just for fun, and it's, everybody's team has some smatterings of people who are gun ho and really into it, and some people who are just going to be helpers. So, so whatever those kinds of homework assignments pop up, hopefully, whatever I'm working on will fit into the theme, and I can contribute to the homework. But otherwise, hopefully, the stitching is not so much that taking one day out of my week to work on whatever we're doing, the homework assignment is. It would be fine. All right, I think that is all I have in terms of thinking about plans. And so now, stuff I bought. All right, I just throwing everything on the floor. I also have some exciting news, which is that for my birthday was a week ago. We actually paid for movers to come in to swap our rooms. So I have been working from home and since March, and we basically just set up my home office inside my craft room, my quilt room. And it was in one of the spare bedrooms that we weren't really using. It was kind of a storeroom, and so we converted it fully on into a craft room, and then I came home and we made it into a home office. The problem is that it's a very dark room. Like, I don't have a lot of natural lighting in there because of various reasons, and I found that I was kind of depressed working in it and everything, and so my their other bedroom is actually my mom's room. She is not staying here during the quarantine, and the we swapped the rooms out. And I was like, Mom, do you care if you're in the darker room? And she's like, no, because I only sleep. Like, she's like, I don't do anything in the room. I watch TV and I sleep. Who cares if the room's dark, right? And so I swapped the rooms out. So now I'm in the front part of the house, and it's so much brighter. I'm already happier. I've only been in it for a week. So my goal for today, so I'm going to be some stitching because, did I mention today happens to be February 7th, and there's apparently just a sporting event happening. I'll be doing some stitching during that, but until then, as we get ready to rev up, I'm going to be unpacking that room and getting my new room set up. So the next time I film, I'm going to be in my new craft room, y'all. So anyways, all right. Keep teasing stuff I bought. Here we are. I went ahead and got a couple more Love You More Studio sleeves. So I got this super pretty bronze rosy thing. So really, y'all, I'm just buying things I think are pretty and cute. And honestly, you gotta like get these stuff quick. You can't get the full sizes. Full sizes sell out really fast. And then of course, y'all, tea time treats. How can I not get that? Look how cute that is. A little teapot, macaroons. I mean, that's a book there, I think. Oh, no, it's just a box of macaroons. More boxes of macaroons. So anyway, so I got these, and I don't know what's going to live in them yet. I kind of made this decision-making process, which is like I didn't know if I'm going to want, like, I really like keeping my projects in the Love You More sleeves, like, because they do take up a little less space, and I don't store my patterns in the Q-snaps. I only keep the Q-snaps on them when I'm actively working on the project. And so, now there are some that I keep them on all the time because I'm always working on them. Like my full coverage pieces, like I pick those up as frequently as I can. So there's some that are, and so I keep those in like the vinyl zipper bags, not this, um, because I am actively working on the piece. But otherwise, I like the idea of the Love You More Studios because it protects it. It doesn't take up as much space, um, and I don't, you know, there you are. But I also really like all the vinyl bags that I see. I got a problem. Anyways, for people who may be interested, who are more visual, I'm more visual when it comes to being able to see measurements. Like just, right? I think I've mentioned that to everyone on this video before. The difference between the full size and the standard size for the Love You More studio ones. Here they are. So I had purchased, let me get back here so you can see. I had purchased this one to hold a book, actually. So, and this is, so the one in front is obviously the standard, and the one behind is the full size. So you'll have to look up the measurements. If I remember to do it, I'll look up the measurements and put them here somewhere. But that's how you can see the difference in like how much more space you gain. So the standard size fits basically a paperback, not like the little baby, not the small, like it fits like the fiction paperbacks, right? And then this one is really intended to fit the hardbacks. And so that's the difference. Obviously you could put pieces in this one depending on how big your pattern is and everything, right? Like it'll fit in this one, no problem. I did like to get the bigger ones, but they sell out really quickly. It's all sorts of people are buying them, I guess, for pattern keeping or for books. Anyway, so for those of you who are curious and seeing the difference between those, there you are. There's a visual. This also is this next part of my stuff I bought will fall in with plans for the rest of the month. So I did, sorry for crinklies, I did purchase from the Fat Quarter Shop the Stronger Together cross stitch pattern. I don't think the picture's in this one. But because Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop was donating the proceeds of any of the sales to the United Negro Fund in honor of Black History Month, I went ahead and purchased the thread pack, even though technically I did not need it. So I did purchase the thread pack. Sorry for the shine, but there you go. Oh, there you go, a little less shine. So I did buy the little thread pack. Came with a little Stronger Together do. So supporting that effort, and I do plan on working on this. I am also waiting on the fabric, but the good news is that the fabric was in stock. I had called my LNS to confirm it was in stock before I placed the order. And they did. She confirmed that it is in stock, and they're running about 2 weeks behind in their shipping, and that's okay. I will anticipate getting that in the next couple of weeks, and then I'll probably start working on the stitch along a little bit later than everybody else. But that is the plan, to work on the Stronger Together. I also have purchased the quilt pattern for it, which looks just like the cross stitch pattern. And I was unable to get the quilt kit, though I was in the notify me when it was available thing. When it went back on sale, it sold out before I had a chance to go back to the store and purchase it. So I ended up kitting it up myself, and so I'm going to be using some fabric from the Allison Glass lines, and so I'm anticipating receiving those fabrics in the next week, or sometime this upcoming week, and I'll probably start working on the quilt before I start working on the cross stitch. So I'm looking forward to that. But either way, I did purchase the patterns from Fat Quarter Shop, and so that's my small contribution. Next up on my stuff that I bought, I got Just My Type. Ooh, I should have taken these out of all the plastics. I'm sorry. So Just My Type by Oh So Emma. And I purchased the thread pack from Color and Cotton that goes with it. I'm going to go ahead and take it out. Apologies for crinkly noises. But look at that fun little pack of colors. Yeah, isn't that fun? Really like that. And I'm going to start this today. I think that this is going to be. Actually, I don't know. I might start, since it's Sunday and I can do a lot of stitching today. I might go ahead and start on the Tree of Magic. But I thought this was a good seasonal stitch, for Valentine's Day. I don't want to wait until after Valentine's Day, so I think this actually, I say it might be fast, it might not be. Oh, it's 139 by 128. It's not a fast stitch at all. It looks like it would be. It's not going to be a fast stitch. But anyways, I'm going to probably start that either today or tomorrow. All right. My last stitchy related, and then I have one quilt related haul. I finally got a DMC swatch thingy. I'm sure it's called something else. Y'all, I'm really allergic to cedar, and cedar is super high in Texas right now. And so it feels like no matter what I do, I can't stop my nose from itching. But look at that. I've been trying to buy one now for quite a while. And they've been out of print. Like, it's been hard to get one. And so I finally saw it available, and I was like, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to just buy it. And now I'm going to have it. And I don't do that many color conversions. But I think that it would be really helpful to have, right? And so we're going to see how, yeah. Oh, this is going to be fascinating. I'm looking forward to, is this all in French? Oh, no, it's in multi-languages. So anyways, but yeah, super excited I got this. Yeah. And then now my one bit of quilting haul. Again, I mentioned that I'm getting the fabric for the Stronger Together quilt. So I'll have, actually I won't even be able to show you as part of my stuff I bought, because I'll probably start working on it between now and the next video, and so you'll probably see it as a work in progress at that stage. A whip. But I did purchase from Fat Quarter Shop the quilt kit for the Run the World. So I'm going to put the pattern here since everything is still wrapped up. I can't pull the pattern out. And so here is the kit. Again, super shiny because it's still in the plastic. But you can see, like, look how fun that fabric is. And like these powerful young ladies being like, that's right, we run the world. And so I saw it. I thought it was super cute. And so I went ahead and bought it. I've gotten the coordinating backing fabric. Super excited to start working on this too. And so I think I am now officially at all of the quilt kits and all the quilts that I anticipate working on for the year. So I am officially making the no quilt purchases until I am done with some of my patterns or some of the projects I'm working on this year, and go forward from there. And so I feel like with the quilting, it's really bizarre. With the quilting, I am it's a lot easier for me to stop purchasing things. One, quilt fabric and everything takes up a lot of space. But it takes me a long time to quilt, and so I get a lot of anxiety if I have too many whips in my quilt projects. So I think at this point in time, with the Stronger Together, with the Run the Girls, I think I'm going to have about 5 current projects quilting, and that's a lot for me because I tend to only finish one quilt a year. So I'm going to stop purchasing at this point in time. Cross stitching is a little different. Like, I feel like I'm like, well, I'm just going to purchase stuff. So, even though I feel like the cross stitching takes longer than the quilting does. Because I make these big cross stitching quilt patterns, right? I don't like pick small ones. I always think they're small. I look at the picture, I'm like, oh, that's small. Like, right, just my type. I'm like, that's tiny. 135 by 140. No, it's not tiny. But yeah, so I tend to keep buying the cross stitching. My husband's like, you're buying an awful lot. It's not that he cares. We're really fortunate. We in terms of disposable income, he's not questioning the spending of the money. He's kind of like, are you gonna ever do all that? No, honey, I'm not. Don't tell him that. But I'm gonna try. Like, I do try to make sure that I keep everything within a reasonable amount of time. That I can do it. I do try to work on it every day. But what's super exciting about my quilt room and setting up my space and everything is that what I'm hoping I'll be able to do is that I've been watching a lot of videos on like people's quilt spaces and sewing spaces and craft spaces because I'm trying to be inspired for how to set everything up and different tricks that people have used and what, in terms of organizing and everything. And one of the videos that I watched, when it was a small, because my room is small, it's like 300 square feet. It's not a huge, it's like a standard kid's bedroom size, right? And I was like, but I thought one of the things that she did that was super cute idea was she said that she does clean up her space after the end of every day. Like, she doesn't leave her projects out, which I'm like, ooh, I don't do that. I definitely leave my stuff out all the time. But then she's like, what I end up doing is that I leave out pieces that need to get pieced out on my machine. And then she's like, and I always leave out just enough to do a little bit of work. And then she's like, if I end up having like a 20-30 minute break or an hour-long break or something, then I have something already on my machine that I can just sit down and piece, and without having to worry about pulling anything out of a project and all that. So she's like, it's just part of her cleaning up process. I thought that was actually a really neat idea, and I don't know why I never thought about that. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see. Anyways, next week you're gonna see me in my new space, and I am filming videos. I'm not gonna do until it's completely done and I do a full-on tour of my space when it's completely done. This is going to be a multi-month project because we are purchasing new furniture and everything, so it's going to end up taking, and right now we're in the let's figure out how I want the layout of the space to be using the existing furniture and making sure that the way it's laid out is really the way I want it to be. We're kind of doing some mismatching, we're kind of tetrising some things to recreate the dimensions of the furniture we're thinking about purchasing so that we see how it fits within the space. And so that's phase one. So I got to get to see this is, and then work in the space like that. Phase two is going to be destashing, organizing, basically decluttering, and getting to the space to know exactly what I have, what I'm keeping, how I want to use it, where I'm going to use it. So we'll be doing those. I'll be doing that, and then eventually we'll purchase the new furniture, and then I'll do a full reveal of the new room after everything has been completely redone. And so you'll get a tour at some point in time, but it probably won't be until maybe the end of the summer, because I do anticipate we're purchasing the towing cabinet from Aero Cabinets, and they tend to do a summer sale, and so we're going to wait for the summer sale to make the purchase. There's no hurry, so we're going to wait, save some money, and that's it. All right, y'all, we're about to hit 40 minutes, so I'm going to stop. Thank y'all so much. I missed y'all. I've been behind in my Flosstubes for all my friends that I have not been watching, making comments. I'm sorry, it's not you, it's totally me. I'm going to try to catch up as best as I can, and know that y'all make me so happy when I get to see you, and I'm going to be back in 2 weeks, I promise. And, if I don't come back in 2 weeks, send help. That means my work has blown up again. So, anyways, I hope wherever you are, I'm hoping you're having a stitching good time. And whichever team you happen to be rooting for today, I hope that you get what you want. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.